Bear markets, you only supposed to invest during bear markets. You're only supposed to invest during recessions. All right, doesn't it make sense to buy when prices are cheap instead of when prices are high? Yeah. I don't care if you sell weed, I don't care what you do, whether it's hair, whether it's the restaurant, whether it's this and that. You're supposed to buy when prices are cheap. So it doesn't make sense that people are scared when good stocks drop. That's when you get excited. So I had to learn that I gotta rewire my brain to think opposite of what the regular society thinks. And that's how I make money. Let's go to the next question.
What up, y'all? My name KT. I'm in Honey Drip, and my question is, hold on, let me pull it up. Is the S&P 500 really a guaranteed way to see a return on your money?
So my question to that is, believe it or not, yes. And I'm going to explain why. The S&P 500, the ETF is called SPY, of course, SPY. The index is called SPX, right? So the ETF is exchange traded fund, and that's comprised of, it tracks the market. So SPY is the Bitcoin of the stocks. Bitcoin is what other coins track themselves off of. The health, like if Bitcoin is the standard, so SPY is the standard. It tracks, if SPY is in good standing, then most of the top companies are going to be in good standing as well. So I'm going to explain to you the common sense answer to why the stock market is going to keep going up. Number one, businesses. You have banks and you have 401ks. Do you really think these white men and these billionaires will even give you a 401k or invest or give you these college savings or life insurance as well? That's investing into the stock market. Do you really think they're going to create these programs if they don't think this is going to go up for the next 20 to 30 to 40 years? These white people ain't stupid. They're not going to do that. That's number one. Number two is everybody's just participating in the stock market whether they like it or not. So, most of us have iPhones. Most of us have subscriptions, whether it's Amazon, whether it's a Google subscription, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a Meta subscription, you're paying for a verified check, it don't matter. Whether you're waste management, you're paying for trash. All of us have some subscription in some way. So whether you like it or not, you're participating in the stock market. The stock market is driven by us. It's not driven by the government and all. It is, but it's driven by supply and demand of the American people, the world people, right? So once you understand that, okay, every company has a yearly and a quarterly statement, correct? And every company's goal is to increase their money year over year and quarter over quarter. And every business, I don't care small or large, your goal should be to make more than I made last year and more than I made last quarter. Now, quarterly is going to be dependent on supply and demand because everybody's going to make more money the last quarter of the year. Why? Because of Christmas, Black Friday, holidays, all that stuff, right? So no matter what business you are, you're going to make more money last quarter. In fact, Black Friday was invented on that. Black in the military, if we say we're on black, that means we're low on ammo. So Black Friday was businesses who were in black, they made a celebratory day so that they can get out of black. See what I'm saying? So, and even me, I'll be honest with you, even my business, I learned that from just my business. The most money I make is at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? But that's for businesses. So yes, the stock market is going to keep going up. That's why it's important to buy dips, but from the most recent high. So whenever there's a high, whenever the stock market makes a new high, which is kind of returning to the new high, when it dipped 20% from that last high, that's when I bought. Yep.
And real quick, we just have some barbers just opened up too, so if y'all want to get your line up, haircut, we got two over to the side, just open up, so make sure.
And we got a lady retwisting dreads too.
Who twisted dreads? I need to get mine.
Her right there.
Oh, okay, well, you didn't tell me that, girl. My dad over again, he gonna come over there. All right, cool,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, let's get it.
What's going on, yo?
What's
My
up?
name Blase,
What's up?
living on the south side right here, but
That's,
hey, I've been
that's a
following
hard
you.
name. Blase.
Yes, sir, you already know it. Look, I've been following you since 2019, you know what I mean? You really influenced not only me, a lot of people, but
Yeah.
to get into the market. And being able to pass something down to my kids. I'm a contractor.
Right.
My wife is, their mom is a professor. So if they don't want to go to school for 20,000 years or they don't want to work with their hands, they can at least work with their mind. You know what I mean? It will
Right.
help me give something down to that. So I want to say that before I get started.
Okay.
But check. All right. What kind of advice you can give to a profitable trader but not consistently profitable, right? My flaw is getting out too early, you know, overstaying my welcome, and not letting my plays play out all
Right.
the way. You know, more so the mental psychology behind it. I guess more so, how would you combat like FOMO? You feel what I'm saying? To not hurry to get back in or revenge trading. How do you combat those things?
So we all struggled with that in the beginning, and I had to go ask some people who was high rolling as well. And the people I were asking, of course, were whites, Indians, Arabs, people like that, right? And what I realized was the difference between them and regular people is they're only going to take trades that they believe is going to work. So they're not taking speculative trades, they're only taking high probabilities. They will literally, let's just say, there is no trade for you today. Like, you have to be okay, and it hurts. Your stomach hurts, so you like, God damn, I don't see shit.
I'm talking about, boy.
I don't see no great setup today. Guess what you gotta do? You gotta have the discipline to not take nothing. No money lost is still a win. You gotta live. What Craig Dad say? You live to fight another day, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part right there.
Yeah.
When you be like, they be on that Discord like, "Hey y'all, no trades today. We gone." We can still be on that like,
And
ugh.
people don't, but see, the thing is, because we learn, what you're gonna learn over time is, and this is gonna keep happening until a hard head make a soft ass. You're gonna keep learning over time, like, God damn, if I would've just waited till tomorrow when I saw this shit that was gonna work, I could've just put all my money into that. And then you're gonna end up trying to revenge trade, you're gonna lose, you're gonna go down the rabbit hole and
Same
lose.
rabbit hole, yeah.
So what I had to learn is, even for me, if my setups that I like aren't there, I don't take a trade. And it's even easier for y'all because y'all don't have to signal plays.
All right, that's what my next question, if you don't mind. My
Yeah.
next question was, how do you find, like right now I'm still in Merck.
Right.
Still in the Merck place 7-Eleven expiration, right?
Right.
Like how do you find it? Because no matter what the market did, Merck was at its bottom, and it didn't really fall like that.
Right.
And I was fly as fuck. Like I even added on to it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I'm in it maybe like 2,500 on a position.
Right.
And I'm up maybe like 45%.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like that's not the only play. I've been following for a long ass time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how do you find those A1 setups like that? How do you find them?
Right. So
My stock at its bottom, like no matter what the market doing, that thing ain't really
well,
going down.
for one, I'm scanning. So what I had to learn is that the market is moving in sectors. So let's just say the Magnificent Seven, right? You got Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple. Y'all know the Magnificent Seven, right? The top company, NVIDIA, right? So if those aren't moving or if those are too high, what I had to learn, this took 8 years of experience. This ain't some shit you can learn on YouTube. This is just experience type stuff. I had to learn whenever those are too high, it's time to go look at other sectors. So now you got to learn what the other sectors are. You got energy, you got medical, you got what else sectors? Finance, you got solar, you got all types of different sectors, right? So, and you can go on this site called FinViz, FINVIZ.com, FinViz. And it'll be like a little box over there with a whole bunch of, you'll see red and green. Click on that box on FinViz. It'll be like in the right-hand corner with a whole bunch of stocks. Once you click on that box where it shows like the overall health and stuff of the market, you're gonna see how it's grouped up in different sectors. So that box is a famous box on FinViz, right? And that taught me that whenever there's sectors like to rotate. So when some sectors aren't moving anywhere, there's going to be some sector moving. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm just going, all right, cool. Well, let me go check on healthcare. Okay, healthcare up. Who's down? What sector is down? Then I'm going to research the best names in that sector. Because those are the names that's going to move, right? But how do I know these are the best names? That's the part that people forget. This is called fundamental analysis.
Finances.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to look at your overall revenue growth. Remember what I said, the goal is so I'm going to go on yahoofinance.com, go to your financials, and check to see if your overall revenue growth is growing, check to see if your net profit is growing, check to see if all that is growing, right? So that's how I'm figuring out which companies are the strongest in that sector. I'm literally, it takes about maybe 30 minutes to an hour of research every single day, but more than likely 2 hours of research. So researching is the part that people need to do, but that's how I'm doing that. And then a pattern. See, that was a falling wedge. So what I had to learn was, no matter what, I'm going to take my setups, win, lose, or draw, because that's the other side of it. Then now you're playing scared if you don't take the setup. See what I'm saying? So there's fear, and then there's greed. Greed is when you learn how to trade, but you don't take profit. Fear is, I know what I'm doing, but I'm scared to lose money. So what I had to learn is, trading is like being like the Goldilocks in the Three Little Bears story. Remember how one bear pores was too hot, one was too cold, but one was just right, right?
Yeah.
So in trading, you gotta kind of be balanced. Can't be too fearful, can't be too greedy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be right in the middle in order to be a good trader.
Hey, appreciate it, yo.
Yep.
You saying this camera, we gotta remember this one.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Ross. So my question is, as a young 28-year-old real estate entrepreneur, I provide transitional housing for service members who, and now I've exhausted all my VA. I've got 4 units. I started.
Oh no, this ain't a question for me. This real estate?
Well, yeah.
This real estate?
It's both. It's tied in, but
Alright.
directed towards.
I need some help. he talking about VA loans and all this stuff. I don't know what's going on.
You ain't no 28, man. You lying, man.
I know the hairline going, but hey.
Will Smith say, boy, you look 30.
All right, you coming. But go ahead and start asking your question while you're walking up.
Okay, too easy. So I want to build, and I know how to fill these houses up. I want to use the rest of my reserves. I've cash flow enough money to where I have a sustainable amount of reserves, where I want to finish my projects and expand. So I started in Texas. I have 4 units, 2 duplexes, 2 single-family homes. I rent rooms in each individual to officers, 1 officers. But now I'm bringing it to home. I'm from North Carolina, Fayetteville, and I want to now learn how to build and develop. So my question is, how can I get into this finance game with trade stocks to fund my projects?
So, okay, so what is the question? Can you like briefly say it in like a sentence?
Too easy. So basically, I'm just keeping it vague. I got 20K in reserves, and I am looking to expand from Texas to North Carolina. How do I, and what steps should I take to set myself up through stocks to later build?
So it sounds like you looking to expand your portfolio. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right. So you moving from one city to another city.
Across the country.
So, but that's your hometown. So that's basically your backyard, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you already familiar with the market. You already familiar with the different neighborhoods. So you should be able to go out and identify a property that'll be able to fit into the buy box in the portfolio that you already are in and that you're comfortable with as an investor.
Correct.
So I would suggest you to do just that. Go around, find some deals, start investing. You know, as far as the stocks, my brother, he the GOAT. So whatever as far as that goes, like he'll be able to assist you with that. I'm not sure if you're already a member of the Honey Drip Network, but
Not yet.
I highly suggest joining the Honey Drip Network. I mean, we get money in that group chat. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Everybody who got a 10, 20, 40, What they say, if you got a $10 bill, put your hands up. So we gonna do that. If you got 5,000 on you, put your hands up. You got a 10 on you, put your hands up. You got a 20 on you, put your hands up. 40. Alright, so let's think about the people with the 20s, right? Who want to, the whole goal is to make my money move safely, right? Everybody, we're trying to move our money safely, okay? So I'm going to recommend everybody does about 90 to 80% of your money needs to go in long-term shares. And you need to be adding to your portfolio every month, all right? Or every week, however you want to do it, no matter who you are. Even I do it. I make a lot of money from business, and I put $100,000 a month into the stock market, no matter what. I have to, because if I don't, what's going to happen to that money? Vacation, car, this, that, all these things, bills, expenses. So always pay yourself first with your retirement, which is setting yourself up for the future. So before I go and I do anything, $100,000 a month going into the stock market, right? Now, what am I spending this $100,000 on? If there's some, I'm going to research all month on a company that has year-over-year growth, year-over-year revenue, and is cash flow positive. So I need three of those steps. And then second, they need to be 50% down from the most recent high, right? So HIMS, HIMS is one of the most recent ones. I made a lot of money on. I made about 200,000 on that in like, it took about a month and a half, right? So you gotta, so if I see a nice growth stock, I'm going in on top of 100,000 in that. So if I got a 10, 20, I'll put 2,000 or something like that. Off top, I put 10% of my net worth into something that I love that is 50% from the most recent high. So TWLO and him are my most recent ones that I made about, in the last 2 months, I made about 300,000 off those two, right? Off a strategy that I use. But on my downtime, let's just say it's a month where I threw in some money, so I don't care who you are. Everybody at the lowest should be able to put in 200 to 400 in the market. So that's $100